Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel Daily News Editorial. In this channel, we regularly cover editorial page section of newspaper. In today's video, I will be covering editorial page section of the Hindu newspaper dated 27th of July, that's today. So let's begin. Did orange counter saffron in Karnataka? The Lingayat mud's influence and their heterogeneity have been a tough nut for the BJP to crack. Why was it so difficult but necessary for the Bharatiya Janata Party to retire an old warhorse such as B.S. Yedurappa? After all, he clearly defied all that the party publicly stands for. He shows no distaste of he shows no distaste for engineering in old style corruption. He has even paid the price for it. He makes no bones about extending his rule by next of kin in promoting the de facto power of Mr. B. Y. Vijayendra. But above all, he showed a degree of fairness to the Muslim population of the state, approximately 13%, when he categorically stated at the height of pandemic in 2020 that no one should say a word against Muslim. This is a warning. Such fairness is quite alien to many other members of the party, which obliges its members to foster a hatred of Muslims. His warning, his warning flew against the successful ethnic profiling of Muslims following the Tablighi meeting at Nizamuddin Markaz in March 2020. Naturally, it only earned him greater displeasure. He has symbolically ended 2 years of a troubled time as Karnataka's chief minister in a blaze of advertisements recounting his achievements. He, as he counts his days to the Margdarshak Mandal or to a safe sinecure elsewhere. Mr. Yedurappa has revealed his capacity to rally support from the local man in orange, the Mathadi Disas, head of Maths, of several Lingayat and a few other Maths, of which Karnataka has a dense and active network. Small groups meeting in his support coalesced into a gathering of about 450 who convened who, who convened at Bangaluru's Palace Ground on Sunday. Generous grants. Mr. Yedurappa has inaugurated his last victory in 2008 with generous grants to these months. Between 2008 and 2013, the BJP government had granted at least 152 crore rupees to 20 named institutions. In his new, though illegitimately obtained, time in power, he steered Karnataka's decade long legacy of development in completely new direction through the creation of caste based development corporations, one of which was the Veer Saiva Lingayat Development Corporation that was endowed with 500 crore last year. Mr. Yedurappa made development all about caste. But did the man in orange come out on the streets of Karnataka to express their gratitude for this lar- largesse? The public engagement of the months, particularly in the world of education, have been about a century in the making. When Lingayat Mats first began to build institutions to serve those of their own caste and later a much larger community of Kannadigas, From the 1970s, they have expanded their educational engagement to set up professional colleges and related facilities. Today, for instance, the Jagat Guru Sri Shiva Sri Sivarathiri Swami Swara JSS group of institutions number close to 350 educational institutes, while the Sri Siddhaganga Mutt at Tumkur has an enviable 125. To add to their institutional strength, there has been an increased involvement of mutts and matadisas in all parts of Karnataka in the development work of their regions. This may range from building bridges and irrigation works. They are even involved in establishing a balance between new livelihoods and ecological sustainability. For example, making iron ore mining companies in Chitradurga more accountable to the communities that they have thoroughly ravaged. The Karnataka Mutts have been, as M. Kalburgi so well described it, an unauthorized government wielding a moral rather than legal authority. Mathadisas of especially the Lingayat Mutts have long established themselves as the arbiter of everyday life in Karnataka. What of their engagement with the world of electoral politics? It could consist of nudging adherents towards a particular candidate. Former Karnataka Chief Minister S. Nijala Nijalingappa was a victim of this process. Participating in public protest became common as Matha Disas and political representatives together demanded other backward caste reservation for the Vokaligas and Lingayats in the late 1980s. In 2017, they demanded separate religious status for the Lingayats. This engagement has gone further today. Attempts are being made to reduce the cacophony and expense of electoral politics, particularly in local body elections, by urging electorates to unanimously choose one or another candidate who then wins without a contest. This does not bode well for democracy but reveals the much formidable local political power. Current assertion. What of the current assertion by the men in orange in support of Mr. Yedurappa or another Lingayat leader? Is it to enlarge the powers they already enjoy, free of the accountability of the elected representatives? Or has the promised double engine Sarkara in fact shows sign of disobediently pulling in a direction quite opposed to the union government? Ironically, the power of the Matha Saj strengthened, no doubt, by the wider political climate that privileged all men in orange, may precisely be that which undermines the homogenized Hindutva project. It was the dangerous threat to Hindu unity that was exposed in 2017 campaign by the recognition of Lingayats as belonging to a separate religion, a demand that was successfully beaten back, at least temporarily, by the union government. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Chief Minister were able to get away by yoking Sanatana, eternal or absolute Dhamma, or to Pragatipara, progressive, when inaugurating the renovations to Anubhava Mantapa at Basavakalyan in Bidar, a move that set up a futile cry of protest among those who saw this as a contradiction of Basava's ideals. But again, it was the radical heterogeneity of the muds that came into public display for 3 months after January 2021, when the Mathadisas of a subsect of the Lingayats, the Panchamasali Lingayat, marched towards Bangalore, demanding a rearrangement of reservation categories to better represent their subcaste. Mr. Yedurappa was himself besieged in this war that broke out between the castes and subcastes. The second wave of COVID 19 arrived as a grotesque succor, but he still had to claw back the dangerous tilt in power towards the man in orange when he physically wrapped the wrist of Vachananda Swami after the latter publicly asked him to accommodate more Panchamasali Lingayats in his cabinet. We have therefore witnessed the contradictory process by which the unity that the Union government strives for is continually undermined by the fractious struggle of the region and its caste. Karnataka's Mathadisas, whom no political party can do without, are a mixed bunch. Some, such as the then Nidhu Ma Midiswamy and the current Nijagunananda Swami, have publicly campaigned against the BJP's communal politics. Their commitment to the caste ironically staved off the precipitous plunge towards the Uttar Pradesh model, which other members of the party have eagerly embraced. For some time, Basava's Tattva's orange may well run counter to Hindutva's saffron. Janaki Nair taught modern Indian history at the Center of Historical Studies, Jawaharlal Nehru University, Delhi. If you like my video, please subscribe, like and comment. Thank you.